Yeah.
But our map videos, let's talk about those.
Where we'll be playing, that will matter. Of course, we saw no repeats the first play day, and I don't believe we've seen any repeats today. It was Coastline, Consulate, and then Cafe, and another no repeat day for EU Bank. This is a pretty good map. I'm not sure about forZe, but Chaos, the last time they played this, did pretty well on it. For recall, they still lost, but it was a 7-5 loss. So that's close to a tie. So it's not a bad map for them. So we'll see how forZe play on it though.
Definitely. So I think this is a map that forZe would be very comfortable on, right? Yeah. Any map that just has a lot of space to walk around in is something that benefits forZe because they're a team that is just so good at clamping down on their opponents, especially if they're on the attacking side. I would be really worried if Secret. I'm thinking Secretly, but then Chaos. If Chaos aren't able to win many of their defensive rounds.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we need to see what side they're starting on as well.
What do you guys think, though? We're going to get that info in just a second. Wow.
19%. Wow, not a lot of faith. I mean, to be fair, like, forZe are a pretty strong team, and I probably would say I agree that forZe are likely to win, but I don't know if I'd say by that dramatic of an amount. But hey, they're a newer team. They're a bit more of an unknown, so we'll see. Obviously, a lot of fans, whether they'll be fans of the org or fans of just how the team's kind of shown up and really done quite well in a lot of different things. We'll see.
All right. Yeah, we definitely can't wait to get into the game, and the players seem to be ready, though, but we have some tweet. Slow ramp up for us from G2 Pengu, of course. Took too long to get comfortable in the game. GG well played to Vitality, and of course to Goga. Well played, man. What?
And then I don't know what the rest of that says.
That's in Polish, and I don't know what that means.
Oh, well. Someone knows out there.
And yes, I don't know what that is. Oh, the game is about to start. We're on Bank. Again, forZe versus Chaos. Swedish/Finnish lineup versus Russian. See how long Chaos can hold on in this match. Because again, after the way that forZe played in how they played against one another.
Thatcher banned. So what does that even do at this point with how many times Thatcher has just not even been played? We'll see what the next ban's going to be. And that comes out from Chaos. So no Lion ban this time, as you're talking about. But Habana on Bank, very, very common. So this is not unusual at all. The Thatcher ban will be interesting to see, though, especially for like CEO. You're going to have trouble getting through that wall. Then again, there's impact tricking is already a thing anyway, so maybe it's not a big a deal on that.
You have to deal with impact tricking, with you have to play against Bandit. You also have to play against sneaky Maestro cameras that are set by the couch, something that Chaos does quite consistently. So maybe something to look out for. There's Mira at the end. Overall, the bans make a lot of sense for the map, as they usually do. Thatcher is, quote-unquote, the standout, but that kind of tells you the level of, wow, this is amazing, kind of.
Yeah, and it's obviously something specific they plan to work around. The Kayed being left, though, with the Thatcher ban is interesting. I imagine Maverick might be a big, important part of this, and you see Rask already picking that, because you do want a lot of hatches. There are quite a few you have to deal with, and because of that, you're really going to be struggling to deal with any kind of Kayed play, if there was any, but the Maverick's going to be in play, so you're not going to have to use the Thermite for those. But the Kayed is going to come out anyways just to make it more difficult. And I think that is a good idea. You really want to make it hard, especially if you can get a Maverick kill somehow. That's going to make it really difficult for them. So we'll see how they end up playing it.
Attackers need
we are, of course, going to start down in the basement. No surprise there. CCTV. This is basically the best bomb side of the map. The one you want to start on for the most part, but it is always interesting when teams want to go CEO first. It's just rare these days. We saw, for example, Rogue, the NA Rogue, doing that early on and kind of setting a trend on that for a little bit of time, but it did eventually fall off. CEO has become a better bomb site, though, over time as teams have figured out better strategies on it. But we're actually seeing, I think, our first Jackal of the day. Hadn't seen a whole lot of that earlier. We're going to have the Mozzie with no mute to back him up, but still, the Mozzie is going to be very strong on this map, especially if he's going to be supporting his own roam, as it looks, but he has yet to put up any pests. So it makes me think he also wants to make sure that they can't identify where those are at ahead of time with their initial drones, but it means he also won't be capturing any initial drones likely. Starting to set them up now and then rotate back. He could be playing down here in open office, setting up another pest there as well. So it looks like he could be just trying to support his own roam. We'll see if he plays. Nope, he's not going to play too aggressive, but ironic enough, he's going to get droned. They're going to find out he's playing those main stairs. They're going to have the Jackal potentially catching some of his footprints as he left quite a bit going from the top floor down. So there should be, if they're able to get in soon enough, Shate should be able to find those. Those breach charges coming out. We've seen a lot of use of those today.
Yeah, and sometimes because, well, you remove both the buck and the sledge, and sometimes it's because having extra breach charge is just so huge. It affords you so much flexibility, right? So it's always great to have that. Breaching charge is going to come in and open up that that hatch, and we've been seeing a lot of G8 in play, right?
Yeah, like you said, the angled grip made a huge difference on that because players really feel like they can ADS fast enough, because that's the big downside with LMGs is slow ADS time.
Thermite is there, and there's WTG actually. Finds Shate first, and that's the Maestro. That's actually a huge pick. Where did he...
Oh, yeah, I said Shate earlier, but I meant Shockwave on the Jackal just because of the SH at the beginning.
I don't know where Shate was playing.
He plays such aggressive Maestros. It's always weird to me because it rarely seems to work out for him. So it confuses me why he continues to do that on a different team as well. Doesn't seem like the right choice, but hey, if he wants to go for it.
There you go, trying to look for that Rtila. It's right under. It's literally right under center. That was actually well placed. It actually ends up doing some decent chunk of damage. Rask will take a couple of bullets finding their way onto him.
Well, at least Maverick did his job.
I mean, Kama can use one of his charges, but he won't. He needs them for later. The problem is, because you don't have anybody destroying this skylight hatch, oh, this is what's going to happen. Renewals finds WTG, and a second one on Shockwave. Beautifully done there from Chaos. Honestly, that hatch should be opened. Pressure it, because if you don't, this is what you're going to end up with. It's a 3v4. forZe lose their man advantage off of getting what is pretty much a free kill on the Shate, but they recover by taking down Secret. Taking out the Clyde, but his job is already done. There's one at least locked down. The site is close to open, but Red Groove with the TK on Renewals. That's the wrong one, and all the commotion, it's Pasha that drops in on site. Vito, though, with the extended barrel SMG-11 will come in and find a kill. What is happening right now? Rask is trying to pick up the diffuser and come in and go for the plant, but Pasha's dropped on the floor. Rask is all on his own. 40 health left on him. And Red Groove Vitor trying to drop down to help. There's Pasha dead. Diffuser's going to be set at the last second. Rask might go in for the fight. It's still winnable for him. Still in 1v2. Full. Oh no, there's a lot of ammo, but it's none of it being thrown the way of Red Groove. And that's the round done. Chaos somehow were able to bring this one back. And the 2v1, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
That flank, that last flank, I have to say, was just so important from the smoke.
I mean, smoke players are so vital because, especially if you stay alive long enough, you're in a vital position, but being able to get those flanks off like that definitely matters a lot, and especially when one of your teammates just dies early due to what I imagine was a misplay. We didn't get to see it, but Shate dying early was not the play. He's going to be on the Clash this time, so I imagine he should live quite a bit longer. In theory, and they're going to be going to that CEO bomb site that I said is a pretty good bomb site these days, but just not as much of a primary. No, he's going to 6-pick off of it. Okay, well, we'll see how he ends up doing that. Shockwave get a 6-pick off the Jackal he played last round. This time to the Ash. I imagine they might play a little more aggressively. Going to CEO, that actually is a pretty good operator for this attack here. Extra utility to clear up those castle barricades that you know are going to be there, in addition with those Maestro Evil Eyes. So that'll definitely be very helpful. Nothing going to be set up to deny the walls on the backside there of CEO from being opened up, though, as they are going to have the Thermite. So, choice. So a rotation set up there as well, it looked like, but I imagine they might reinforce over the rotation out of the back of CEO. Might just been for now to get out there, although it would be interesting to see if they kept that. So, see how the rest of the setup goes.
5 seconds left before insertion.
A lot of barbed wire on those stairs, but that, you know, honestly, it's worth it. You really don't want anyone rushing up those spiral stairs, especially with an Ash in play, which and they don't necessarily know about. But you got to keep in mind, even Maverick is a 3-speed, so they've got what three speeds on there between the IQ, the Ash, and the Maverick. So definitely they could play aggressively if they wanted to. up those stairs. So that'll definitely make a difference. And you may also see some of those Ash Breach charges actually used on that barbed wire if they want to go up that direction, as they will have the extra utility with the Zofia in play as well.
Bomb located by attackers.
And no, they did leave it soft. That is an odd choice. I mean, it's not a bad one, especially if you could play those angles. But it does leave a lot of that room exposed, not to mention angles into further rooms, which obviously you can play from. But you're going to have to make sure that the attack is somewhat one-directional, because if you get pinched from both sides, that open wall can really work against you. We'll see, though. Maybe it'll help in stopping people from entering even the square door altogether. You might have to see people enter from different approaches. They are going to come in from stock, potentially here. Nope, Shockwave's just going to peek it first.
Shockwave, there's breaching round coming up. Open up the wall. Is there somebody that's trying to contest on the rappel? No, it doesn't. Yeah, there is. There is Kama. Yeah. There's nobody pushing him right now.
No, probably no one going to jump out of the windows just yet, but that might be inevitable. It happens so often on this map.
Shockwave still checking his drone. This is something that we saw mirrored with Team Empire as well, where they're spending so much time on drones and verifying. See, there are drones everywhere. There's the run up. Vito will find one, but Pasha will refrag. That's a thermite out. Still not the most important. I wanted to say that, but it is a pretty important operator right now. Like, yeah, we would love to have him, but the walls are soft, so it's definitely possible to walk on in just using the breaching round. So in the end, yeah, still not really the most important of kills. At least there's Pasha still alive to provide overwatch, and that's the important one. Your flank is now softer. Secretly is dead, and there are no smokes to be used at the 1 minute mark.
In theory, they can at least get in without having to use the thermite because they can Zofia or Ash the wall. But they also have the Maverick to help out. Wow, there we go. Well, there goes the Ash. Red Groove with a nice kill there. Playing it a bit better than Shate did, and who's, you know, still alive at least. There's that, but they are down 2 men at 3v3 so far. 30 seconds or so left. Red Groove finds another one. Defender's looking pretty good here.
Oh, there's Nitro Cell, but it's already done. There's the kill from Pasha onto Shate in a 2v2. Pasha finds Red Groove. He's looking for a fourth one here. He's already hit the 3K. Renewals. It's the last one alive for Chaos. Finds one kill. WTG is down. Pasha will have to get that 4K to win out the round for his team, and he definitely has a ton of ammo to make it happen. Renewals is looking the other way. He's going to make a lot of noise here, Pasha, and he's actually going to keep firing through the walls. It's all reinforced here. It might help him to go for a plant, but no, he's actually going to go for the fight, and Pasha wins it! The 4K to win it out. forZe take the round against Chaos.
They definitely needed to be a bit further offside, it seems. Usually chasing the kill like that doesn't really work out in your favor, but certainly did. Really, time advantage was in the defender's side. They peaked a little too aggressively, more than they needed to, but at the same time, I can understand they didn't want to give map control. They didn't want to be in a situation like last round where the plant got put down without them being able to fight it. So I suppose it's not the worst idea, but that did end up costing them the round. So we'll see how they can shake things up when they play Teller's Archives. They don't want to try CEO again. I imagine we'll see it again one more time, though. Vito going to go over to the Pulse. Should be pretty useful. We'll see if he ends up playing downstairs or just up support. Could even play inside site, although I don't know. It's tricky because there's not a lot of places you can play totally protected. More so somewhat insight, but you can be pushed somewhat both sides from the backside of Archives through the window and the doorway. Also Tellers, especially if they open up one of the walls. And there's 2 doorways there as well, so it's not the safest operator to be kind of running around calling things out. Shate will be back on that Maestro. We'll have to mute this time to potentially deny some insight. Mute is a good one for this site if you want to cover a lot of the reinforced walls to make it harder for them to be breached. As again, Thatcher is banned, so you can somewhat secure, say for example, the wall from the open area office into Archives. If they even reinforce that one, they actually have left it soft. So the interesting choice there to leave it completely soft and just dedicate a lot more resources upstairs. You see secretly placing one of those mute jammers down. He's going to be trying to deny, I believe, the drone hole. Just trying to play in here as long as he could. He's actually denying a bit of the hallway as well. There was one near the door. He's going to deny the door and I think some of the hallway, trying to drone past Janitor. So we'll see if he ends up kind of trapping himself in there. Barbed wire as well for Kitchen, but does get spotted, so Shockwave going to take a different route. He was going to go in through the doorway, I imagine. So good droney coming out so far, at least trying to identify the problems they're going to have to deal with. It's just a matter of how they deal with them. Vitalin actually has taken a bit of damage already. Might have been friendly fire, though. Hard to say where his position was.
Yeah, maybe he got shot from Pasha at some point. He was checking him. I don't know, because Pasha does run a suppressed pistol, so it's possible that he just does so little damage because it hits his shoulder or something like that.
Yeah,
it is possible. Again, the suppressed pistol is not a bad idea on the IQ, because a lot of times you'll be doing damage, but still one-shot headshot regardless. So, do you want to be a bit more stealthy in where you're shooting from? Your opponents won't exactly know where you are. It's an option, that's for sure. Rask, in the meantime, is going to use his breaching torch to... Oh my, he's literally sitting there. WTG takes down secretly. Well done by forZe, forcing Chaos out of that position. He was going to die regardless, but secretly might have been... Was there a hatch open maybe that he could use to drop? I'm not sure if the hatch in Janitor was open, but there's Rask to get Renaults. That's 2 now for forZe.
Looking pretty good on this attack. Definitely dismantling them. I mean, at least Shat stays alive a little bit longer, but losing the Mute with that C4, I imagine, and the Jaeger early with pretty much no scratches on forZe. A minute left, so they can play a little bit of time here, but the upstairs being torn apart now on the floor. It's funny because no Buck or Sledge Band this time, yet just not being played. Oh, Shockwave down at least.
WTG dropping in down. Rask will find Red Groove. More kills for him. In the meantime, Shockwave's dropped on the floor. Can you save him? Yeah, he should be able to do so. Yeah, there you go. Pasha will come out. They're safe. There's no nitros, nothing that can hit them at that level. On the balcony. Flashbangs will be thrown on in to slow things down here. WTG gets another one. This is really forZe all over the place when it comes to holding on the right angles at the right time. And Shockwave turns around the corner. He tries to thread it, but no, he'll fail. He won't for this one against Shockwave, but it's going to be an inconsequential kill as he gets felled, and WTG collects one more. forZe really putting up the rounds.
At least the good news for Chaos is they can go back down to CCTV basement, but that was still not the best performance from them. It was one they won, but forZe seemed to be just really tapping out players one at a time fairly quickly in these rounds. Chaos just trying to push back, not really working out at all in terms of... They had so much denial in terms of with the mutes, but I think mute Mozzie is needed. At least they're bringing the Mozzie this time, just to really deny the drones, because you saw how easily they were able to identify the locations, pick off the players. But they're going to have to do a bit more here. Be a lot more careful, but at least Shate making up for the guff I was giving him just in terms of staying alive longer. That was a good round for him. Just couldn't clutch it out. A lot of players left on forZe. I like him taking advantage of the ping though with the wall bang. Just unfortunately missing the one shot of tight angle in the open area doorway. I imagine we'll have Rask doing his job fairly quickly again here, getting the hatches open. Essential job for the Maverick. And that's the thing is, you get all these Hibana bands on this map, but it doesn't change things too much because, yes, the Hibana can't quickly open as many hatches. It does make for a little bit more work. But at the same time, Maverick's also an equally good operator, and it doesn't take that much longer to get those hatches open in terms of if you're doing it efficiently, they're going to get open and you're not necessarily going to lose too much for it. So I don't know that the Hibana ban and then bringing the kite is really necessarily doing a ton. They almost might want to consider just bringing some other operator instead of the kite, just because if they're being efficient on the Maverick, it's not helping as much as they'd like. It just forces, Thermite to not be helping with that, I suppose. See how they end up going into the site here. They got to take top floor control. The pretty typical approach here is to take CEO first, as CWGG doing. He's got breach charges as well as if they want to open up some of the floor. There's not as much soft floor to open on that second floor, and more so from above on that third floor. So not going to get a ton of utility out of that, but
I mean, Chaos aren't really doing anything super special. They're just sitting back, playing the turtle style. They're not even bringing the pulse in this case, which is an operator we do see quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty dang useful. Server stairs fight, though, this is where we see a lot of people waste their lives trying to rush the shotgun.
Was that actually... That was caught by an ADS. All of the ADSs are being used here to hold on to blue, and there's the smoke to pop off. It's still a very, very good trade here. The smoke is doing work. He can pull back at the end. That Electro Claw really is causing a lot of problems for forZe. First round and right now in the fourth.
Well, it's still a minute 30 left here to make something happen. But the fact that they cannot get server stairs is a real problem. They need to do something. Even the shotgun on the drone there. They're trying the stuns. They go in two. Oh, unfortunately, the 2 to cover ends up just being a freebie for Rask. Fortunately, they lined up. Oh, Red Groove, though, able to trade whack one onto Shockwave, former teammate at one point. I believe. Nice try from WTG, but he might end up having to get himself up here.
Oh, that's drone support. Rask is really doing Cut's work right now. Because what's going to be thrown in, but actually doesn't connect. He's already fallen back there, the Mozzie playing behind the server. He's being tagged, but that doesn't mean that he's going to die anytime soon. And the amount of time that is being burned right now. Red Groove still finds one more kill, but Kama takes him down finally. Look at how low Kama is.
Yeah.
Shate is secretly alive. There you go. Shate, beautiful there. Using the pixel angle from Garage. And now it's a 2v2 with a Maestro and a Kaid alive. Man, there's little time left. This is great for Chaos. This is definitely doable. And the beepers will be triggered. So Rask can come on in. But his opponents will know exactly where he should be coming from. Oh no. Oh no.
There
The Maestro's looking the other way. Shate bamboozled here with 3K for Rask. And secretly has a Nitro cell. Still can save it.
15 seconds
Kama
left.
can't bait for anything here. They have to time this correctly for us. Secretly throw that Nitro cell. Does it connect? Yes, it does. Oh, there it is! Secretly on to Rask. And the 2v1 goes the way of Chaos. The Nords strike back.
Much like the previous time they won it, they probably shouldn't have. That was a little bit of a slow peak and shot, and letting his teammate unfortunately die due to the C4 in the meantime. Just poor timing, but his play onto the Maestro was great. That Maestro's so hard to deal with.
Square Skylight Hatch again.
Yeah.
That Thatcher ban, Chaos know what they're doing.
I mean, it is tricky to sit out there on a Maverick and do that. I can understand. You can get away with it in the admin office of open area because, well, you're pretty well secluded. But yeah, doing that out in the open on that Square Skylight hatch, I can understand why it's trickier. And then that is generally the hatch that the Habana band is mostly addressing.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
But good on Chaos, working that out there. Just barely able to pull that off thanks to a great clutch. It's the problem with getting tunnel vision to that Maestro. But to be fair, that was what Maestro should have been doing because you cannot contest him when he's right there very easily. And that was the way to play it. They just didn't have the manpower to cover him.
It was smart for the Maverick to rotate, though.
The problem was, though, that's also what cost him his ability to cover his teammate in the end, unfortunately.
Thatcher operator ban rate on Bank over the past 6 months is 3%. So this is probably his third or fourth time being banned in total.
Well,
that's actually pretty huge.
It's, probably more so in Latin America. Or is that including Latin America? Because
that's including everything.
Wow, that's surprising.
Literally everything from the Rally Major, Pro League, minors, all the way to here, specifically on Bank. This is how we're told the strats are.
I'm sure if we were including more maps, it would be much higher, but
we don't do them ourselves. But it's all very specific to Bank. We just got told what to say. It's all scripted.
Puppets.
There you go. There's the castle barricade being removed. Shockwave will probably be the one to stay on rappel, maybe, or maybe we'll just see him rotate around to the balcony and then be the team's entry along the hallway. No, it looks like he's going to stay here. It was a bad idea to have the thermite on the rappel the whole time, so maybe that maybe change it up.
Well, they're definitely trying to get some positioning and map control at least from below, which they do have, but they
there's four. Was that a downward Nitro? It hit so well. Shatino, he's actually in the opposite end of the room, and Tellers and an Archives is close to finishing off Rask. He doesn't want to get shot in the back. Renewals is taking a lot of damage himself. Can rotate up. There's the finisher, and you can just add your headshot percentage there, Shate. WTG is the one trying to fight. He really doesn't know if he's being pushed or not, which is exactly what you want to be the case as Chaos. Just put your opponents on edge the whole time.
Well, definitely slowed down.
Oh, the run out!
There we go.
Pasha, beautifully done.
That's definitely not what you want to happen here. When you had an advantage, you were man advantage. Time was dwindling down. It was a nice idea, but terribly executed. And Pasha's ready for a peek from lobby as well. Shatse doesn't make this work here, but he is going to at least pressure Pasha down.
And it all is given away. It 100% is given away because of the jump out. You know now that Chaos are going to focus on this rappel And now it's going to be Pasha holding on and really baiting you into
Attackers
this
have located
comfort.
a bomb.
Yeah, he's waiting. He might even have a drone somewhere over there that's providing intel for him.
Devices and traps.
Oh, he's looking for some gadgets.
There's the push. Shockwave in the meantime exploits all of that comfort, and Shate will be downed. Bernoulli's the second one to fall, spraying through the wall right now. The Ash, you can hear the G36C, that popcorn voice, basically, popcorn noise going off into the back of the site here near B. Red Groove is holding off, and they're secretly with a headshot. WTG try to vault in to trading, but he instantly gets taken off the board. Now Red Groove watching for peeks. They have an evil eye here, Chaos, inside of the site, but Pasha, the beautiful flank, he comes around from Spiral. There's one right around the corner. There's Red Groove taken out. He pre-fires into the next, and Pasha! There's two! The game sense on this man is like nothing else.
He goes from being trapped on a rappel to just coming in and slaughtering them. That's how you do it. What a good round. forZe, though, it definitely looked like it was a tough one for them on that round. But Pasha came alive at the end when he really needed to. And really, it's been a lot of clutch situations in this match. That just shows it is a pretty close matchup between these two. Just because it's gotten down to a lot of those desperate plays towards the end. People just getting 2Ks or clutch positions. Open area, though. So, we will see the full tour come out from Chaos. They have now played all 4 bomb sites, if you count this one. Shadze teasing the pulse. Potentially making them think they're going to be playing a different bomb site. We'll see how they do with open, though. This is a difficult bomb site to hold. Castle is definitely an essential part of it. So Red Groove will be bringing that. Sending up his reinforcement first before getting the castle barricades up. Now you got the rotate. You definitely want to have the ability to not be trapped completely in sight, and that's why you have the rotate over to archives from that admin office that I was talking about earlier. You really want that. You want to be able to play in archives as well, but it does make it a little difficult sometimes in that you can also get boxed in because you can't reinforce and set up tellers the same way necessarily. But those castle barricades that Red Groove is setting up there on the window, for example, will help at least give some flexibility, and they actually will reinforce quite a bit of tellers here. Shate doing that on the wall, trying to make sure that they at least will be somewhat protected. The thing is, though, you can't dedicate a ton of people to any one area because you're so spread out. So if forZe read into that and can start to get some pinches going or get some man advantage early, they have plenty of utility to open the castle barricades as well. That can make it very difficult for Chaos to be able to do what they want to do. And that's why this is such a tough bomb site to win. Is you really, yeah, you have a big open area to play in, but that often works out in the attacker's advantage.
So WTG, he's looking for runouts. He's expecting something, but
yeah, baiting with that rappel.
It's a smart move, and so far it's been proven that Chaos are very prone to making those usually very difficult choices of just jumping out and firing very early and very easily. So it's a wise choice, but now forZe that because they've droned the entirety of the top floor, they know that there's nobody coming into them anytime soon. Pasha, the great drone throw there, and sets it up to watch over the lobby. It's for later, but because of this site, you really need to clear out not only vertically, but also start pressuring from the horizontal areas. So it requires a lot of coordination from forZe to push back Chaos.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing a good job so far. They have a decent amount of upstairs map control. That's step 1. Step 2 is the hatches. Once you start opening these, this puts a lot of downward pressure on their positioning. Then there's also the floor that you can start to open up with those breaching charges. So as long as they can continue to stay alive and do this at least in a somewhat time-efficient manner, all the damage there, worth it. I like also that Pasha's covering the angles to try and make sure people don't try and look for opportunities to catch the Maverick in the act. And this is where the pressure continues.
So there's Pasha using the breaching charges, and this is great here. Not only do you corner Chaos into the open area, but you also make sure that you're pressuring them from above to get the free kills. There we go. That's the information you wanted on the castle. Kama's looking for the angle, but he doesn't exactly know where his opponent is. You don't really want to risk that drone being exposed and losing this vital intel. They're still uneasy, unsure, probably. We didn't know if that drone was taken out or not, but there's the gunfight. A bit sloppy there, but Kama's going to be alive for just a second. Shockwave fighting, but Kama wins out against Vitaline, actually. It's the Legion all on his own, probably coming in to support Red Groove. And Shockwave, top of the stairs, laying down on the floor. There's the pre-fire around the corner. The ACOG doesn't help. Kama with another one on the Shate, taking down the Valkyrie. There's 2, though, from Secretly. Huge here with the smoke onto Rask and Pasha. And WTG is going to try to walk into sight on his own in A. There's one watching, though, from each angle. Beautiful crossfire coming out from Chaos. Whilst in the meantime, that Qaed is down on the floor. Getting shot from the side, though, is Renewals. Actually, no, he still had a tiny bit of HP on the Qaed. And Kama, with no diffuser in hand, is just going to get dunked on here. Secretly, well done with the SMG 11. Shuts him down. Chaos with a very wide setup, but also so different than what we've seen the past couple of rounds where they're a lot calmer.
Yeah, it was definitely playing aggressive. They were very passive at first, kind of letting them get that upstairs, but then they unleashed. Honestly, the MVP for me that round was the smoke. That 2K from the smoke, that really turned things around because Kama was going pretty wild getting those 2K himself as the thermite. But then once they tried to get the plant down, getting a little stacked up, that smoke did its job. Are they going to stick this Monty? No, it's just a tease. I don't think it changed any of the picks there, but... Well, this is interesting. A Ying versus a Warden. He sees the Warden and still picks Ying. Very interesting choice. You got to imagine the Warden is meant to be played the way Laxing plays it, which is on the server stairs. But this is the first defense here from forZe, so we'll see how well Chaos reads into that. But the Ying choice is interesting. It's so rarely played with an operator now. And we used to see it from Hungry quite a bit, for example, back in the day.
Yeah. So now, forZe, of course, being on the... Oh. You know, the great counter is having the Warden, right? We've had some moments with Warden, right?
Mostly because he happens to have a shotgun as well.
Yeah.
Which you see him running.
Have we seen Warden specifically on Bank and Blue, right?
Yeah, I mean on the blue stairs, but I think it's primarily only been from Laxing. I don't know if anyone else has like adopted it.
He's had a great, great specific round. I don't know how many he got there, but he really shut down. He pretty much won the entire round.
Yeah, I think there was one time it worked, one time it didn't work so great. And there might have been one more time that I'm not recalling, but it's definitely a good strategy overall.
But what is it for you? If right now you're Chaos, you saw that there's a Warden, and you know that you're bringing out the Ying, because apparently it was very much expected, what do? Is your rush just to go the other way to Garage?
It certainly looks like it, because that's where the Ying is going. This looks like it's a shock and awe strat. Kama gives away his position, but they also give away theirs, pushing here. So are they going to rotate over to support him is the question, because they get the down there.
Great shot. The GA doing so much work, and Vito hitting Kama in the head.
This is game changer right here.
No, it's going to take a bit more than just Warden to save you from this round. Vito going in, just stepping bit by bit.
They really shouldn't have won those fights. That was just definitely some misplays there from forZe. But being in this early advantage here, having Garage on this attack, and it being, I was going to say a 5v3, but Pasha wins his fight without getting scratched.
Yeah, Vito is not expecting anybody to peek around that corner. Bless you, my friend. And that's not a great spot, no. But at least Chaos still have control of Garage. They haven't lost it, which means there will be constant pressure. And what do Chaos opt for? They're going to go for a push into the gold vault, which makes sense. You have a man advantage. You can afford to lose one. And with all thermite charges available, you can use them to open up quite a few hatches here to drop on down. All you need to do is keep up the pressure from Garage. But, funnily enough, everybody from forZe, all 3 left, are in great positions to deal with such a play.
Yeah, they're going to have to really commit to whatever play they go to make on this attack here.
Oh!
Now they have got man advantage.
Renewals, that's the shot you were looking for. In the meantime, it's WTG and Rask, the last 2 alive. WTG on his own, but he finds Secretly looking for a kill, but he was spotted and taken out. Predicted there. Well done by the smoke. Renewals walking on in. There we go. Finally, default cam has been shot. It takes a while, but WTG peeks around the corner into the elevator. Firing, does a bit of damage to Red Groove, but it's really those bars that are just so difficult to deal with. Rask, SMG 12 in hand. They're going to try to both double up. One is on the floor. Rask going to walk on in. He actually does get 1 kill, though. That's huge. That's the headshot on Red Groove. Renewals will find the refrag. Now it's up to Shate to watch for rotations. They're actually looking the wrong way. WTG is coming in. They're just not looking at him at all. He makes a lot of noise, though. This will reveal his position. 1 smoke used, but they turn around the corner, and Renewals will get it. There it is. Chaos went out in their first attacking round.
Unfortunately, the big loss there, of course, for forZe was the 2 in garage. Once they lost those two, especially being the Maestro, things really kind of fell apart. It was some good trade backs eventually. Pasha, especially with a great kill onto the Ying, which obviously you don't want to face those Candelas. They still had the Warden, I suppose, to be able to counter that to some extent. But overall, there just wasn't a lot left for the Smoke to do. A lot of those fights over the bars by the Vault as well. It's interesting. They're going to try CCTV one more time, though. See if they can correct it. But I do like that interesting approach of just going for the garage. They're going to tease the Blackbeard and then go to the Ying again. Shockwave going to sneak to the guide. I want to see some bit more from the Warden this time, but it is interesting to see him running the SMG-12. And that I feel like only one person I know of that can control that gun, and that's Slash. It's just such a difficult gun to control. Somehow he makes it work.
Yeah.
But maybe he needs to like teach a class or something because it's just
hey guys, welcome to my workshop.
SMG 101. SMG 1201, I guess.
It really is an advanced lesson at that point because you could control the. You can really go ham with the SMG 11.
Yeah.
But
the 12 is
it's
just
the 12.
That thing's difficult.
Yeah. It's number up.
Yeah. Apparently that number made a huge difference in recoil.
If the balance team is watching here, maybe that number can be tweaked down.
I think that would honestly make Warden much more viable choice if it was.
Yeah, but I say this also knowing that SMG-12 back in the day was
it was
broken. It was just, oh my god. It was better than like half the guns in the game. It was basically the Alda of the SMGs.
Yeah, and it definitely made Dokkaebi a bit stronger as well.
Yeah. Imagine White Stairs with SMG-12.
Someday.
Here we are, Shate. Try to walk on in on the IQ, the Claymore in play, not the breaching charges that we're seeing so much of.
Doesn't look like they're going for garage this time, but hard to say. They could rotate later. Obviously, that would be pretty well predicted this time. I mean, yeah, they won the gunfights on it, but that was, they might not get so lucky this time. So I can appreciate them not wanting to go for that the same way. They're going to take top floor control instead first. Then we got some breach charges, some extra ones here coming out from the Ying itself. Just hoping for a free pick on someone trying to play too aggressively at the top of the server stairs there. And the typical breach charge to open up an angle down into that doorway. We can set up first. Now, maybe they're going to... Or these guys just going to try and flash out here as best they can. Of course, this is where the Warden's got his strength. The flash is really more to burn the ADS than they are to flash out the player.
Yeah, and this is not going to work at all.
No.
Just turns them on and he'll be ready. The flashes literally do nothing to Warden there. He's barely moved. He's barely flinching. The man is a rock.
Maybe they're hoping he'll drain out his glasses before they go with Candelas.
There's the Candela, and it does blind him. And they get the kill. Huge play, but the Jaeger turns around the right moment. Pasha on Jaeger is basically Joystick Jr. He's going to get one on Vito. That's huge. It's a big hit on your crutch.
Trading the Ying for the Warden seems like the appropriate trade to make for the attackers.
And now suddenly the game turns into a very normal match on Bank.
And that is the thing to be concerned about with Warden is he has a limited time on those glasses. If you throw enough flashbangs, he's going to be using that, even though you're really trying to clear ADS. Because of that, he's going to be just drained out. He couldn't do anything against Candela. So appropriately timed, they waited just long enough. That was very smart of Vitalin. It did help, but they still got to execute from here in 45 seconds or so.
Warden should probably be checking with his optometrist for maybe better equipment that he can be using in the future. Otherwise, Red Groove just now at 40 seconds will be opening up the hatch. I'll allow him to drop in at the last second. Use that reinforcement because the wall is not completely open there.
They need to take out that Evil Eye or it's going to be able to kill Thermite during the plant here.
This is the huge bit, but Kama shuts down the rotation. Nitro Cell comes out from Shockwave. Smoke is out as well. And this is pretty much around done and dusted. Kama with one angle. Red Groove is last alive. You can save the gun as much as you would want, but he's actually just going to try to walk on in, save the day, but they're ready for him. The smoke is going to pre-fire it, and there's the finisher from Pasha. The fact that Pasha got that oh-so-important kill really delayed things for Chaos, and you could really see it in the way that they were playing a lot more conservatively after they lost the Ying.
It was also that, like, for example, they didn't clear the Maestro Evil Eye before they went to fake the plant the first time. And doing so, the Thermite took a ton of damage, making him a lot more vulnerable in future plant attempts. They really needed to do that. But also, you know, you did need to make sure you timed the IQ push from the garage much better. You need Maestro to be distracted. You need him not looking that way. And it is hard to time that correctly, but at least you're on a 3-speed to be able to make that rotation at the right time. But either way, this is definitely a heck of a back and forth match. I mean, literally tied up here. Ying going to come out again, this time for CEO. Now, they know it's not CCTV, so it's definitely not a pick for that. So I am curious to see how it gets used. I mean, so far, this is the first Ying we've seen in a very, very long time. So it's always nice to see what people are trying to do with some older ops and some new strategies. You're going to have the castle barricades trying to seal off a lot of these windows. There's a bit of variety in which windows you choose, I've noticed, from different teams. And what you castle barricade, but really what you're trying to do is deny window angles is what it comes down to. You want to give yourself some freedom of movement, and with Habana banned, they have to use an Ashe or a Zofia to be able to clear those castle barricades from long distance. In this case, all they have to do so is the Zofia, and they probably want to save those for the Maestro Evil Eye, so those castle barricades likely to stay relatively safe. That's good for those players playing inside the reception or the other smaller office leading into CEO. We'll see, though, who could do it here. Pasha, though, definitely been the standout player for forZe. As you can see, up there in double digits with 11. Everyone else relatively between 4 and 6 with 1-7 on Chaos' side. So the kills show a relatively close match with just Pasha being the standout. He's definitely had some important picks as well.
Oh, yes. Definitely so. You've had quite a few flanks. I mean, and the IQ in general did a lot of work when he was playing on the attacking side, right? But
yeah.
In this case, this is what I was expecting. Red Groove bringing out the Dokebi. Red Groove is someone that has been known for doing a lot of work on the operator.
To the point where it was getting banned against him.
Yeah. He is just that good. The only other player that I can see in EU that can compete with him on Dokebi would be Aces.
I think SexyCake was pretty good as well.
EU.
Yeah, but
you just leak? Did you just leak SexyCake's move to EU?
Did you just confirm it?
Oh my god, I didn't confirm it. I was just asking.
Okay.
Sorry, boss. Shot is going to destroy any cameras that were preset here by Karma. Bosch taking a lot of damage. The wall is left soft here into the meeting table, so is there. You kind of have to live with it, but it affords you the ability to fight up anybody getting up from the spiral stairs onto the island.
At least this is a good start with for Chaos with the lead player Pasha having taken a bit of damage so far. These Cantelas, they take a bit longer to go off now. You can't just spam them as easily, so it's really down to using them a lot more strategically. So I do kind of like the change. He actually could have done.
He could have Candelas through it. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's a secondary use of the Candela. I know a lot of people don't know that it even exists, that it's a thing, but
it's actually kind of weird to do. It's very tricky. It doesn't work the same way as fuses in terms of how you do it.
Yeah, you have to like hold it and then
you have to do the timer first. Yeah.
You have to do the timer and then it then goes for the animation where it puts it on. But
I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally just dropped the Candela, mistiming that.
I wouldn't be surprised at all, to be honest. But there's Vito, and he's going to throw an extra one. The last Candela into the office. And it was timed, and actually does a decent chunk of work. Kama's been detected, so right now this site is open. All that Chaos need to do is just walk on in. Shockwave loses the gunfight, a very important one here against Vito. The fuser should be set. Oh, WTG, a crucial kill here on the Vito as Shate's fighting for it. He gets the kill and turns it into a 2v1. Possible for Chaos to bring this round back as all reinforcements everywhere. forZe did not have any of those contested. He's going to jump on into site, reveals position, Kama. And the fuser is set behind a reinforced wall. So there's something that he can do, but he's got to go for a fight, at least limiting one of the players. He's unsure of where the attackers are. The post-plant positions are just so good. He pre-fires into one, finds the headshot. Half the magazine left. He fires into the second. Shate trying to stay alive, and he gets it. Shate with a headshot on Kama. Chaos are fighting back. They showed that they can keep up with Rogue in last playday 2 days ago at a 7-5 loss. And right here, they're proving that even with all the hype behind forZe, Chaos are still gonna fight back.
That was still a very close round, though. That could have easily worked out for forZe because they were really he was pre-firing the right spots for the most part and almost was able to get the prone player, but just couldn't get him. Just barely. Shate bringing it out in the end, but still. This is so close and back and forth between these two teams. A lot of players just making plays when it counts. It seems like whenever either of these teams gets down players, they're still able to fight back. And that's the real strength of these teams. That's what makes you a Pro League team, is not just rolling over as soon as you start losing players. And I think that bodes well for both these teams going forward into the future. But the question is any of them going to take home more than 1 point today? Because we're definitely looking so far at a potential tie. They are going to try CEO again, though, because, well, that was pretty close to a win. And they're going to, again, bring the Ying. We'll see if maybe he'll go for the fuse style trick. And to be clear, what we mean by that is sticking it to the castle barricade so that it shoots through the castle barricade, similar to what you could do with Fuse's cluster charge. Just for anyone who might have been unclear on what that meant, just because you don't see it very often. They are not going with a full soft wall. And the wall Shockwave is reinforcing right now. That was an interesting idea, though. Common to be bringing this bulletproof camera, but has yet to set it up. Usually it gets set up the top by Banana, similar to the way that Kanto sort of
Kanto spot,
yeah. He was very good at that, and that's why a lot of people started using that, where they put the bulletproof camera on the Banana to be able to provide intel onto both Banana as well as to a lot of the lobby area, and then use that to help the Doc play the top of those spiral stairs by the elevator. Kama instead, off in Narnia with a bulletproof camera in his pocket. Probably should have set that up before he went off on a walkabout, but you never know. Might be able to find someone, catch someone by surprise. The roaming Doc is definitely usually a surprise factor, and he can heal himself up. I like this angle being used as well by Vitamin to be able to open up a bit of the window. Obviously can't do that with the castle barricades, but might as well open up the ones you can open up for angles, because, well, he doesn't castle barricade all of them. I like that drone as well on the spiral stairs railing, providing some extra intel.
Did he throw it in from the skylight?
Yeah, maybe. It could have also just been a bit of Droney Hawk jumping up there.
I like that, Droney Hawk. Actually, the reverse Spider-Man through the skylights thing is actually a valid strategy.
Yeah, we've
Shate
twice in Pro League, I think.
Yeah, Shate is going to find one, though. That's Kama.
That roaming Doc, fortunately, did not work out. I like that rappel just hanging over the front door. There's a lot of windows in this map, and that's what makes the lobby just a deadly area to be in. Both attack and defense, really.
Who knew lobbying was such a strong thing, right?
Money talks, especially in a bank.
Especially in a bank, that's for sure. There we go. More drones will be thrown in as Candela is being prepared. That's a very cool animation there with the hands so far out. But Ying is so excited to go. And she's holding. That's the crown of command there. 2 Candelas will be popped, one in the hallway. Vito will find one as he takes one tick of damage from behind. And he's just checking. All these soft walls that have been set up by forZe are really going to play against them, as Chaos are utilizing every bit of them to their advantage. Shate snaking his way along the floorboards. He's getting closer. The last Candela has been used by Vito. It was very vital, to say the least. There's one in the back, right behind the CEO chair. And they're not, it's still unsure of where the player was. That's the castle on the floor. Shockwave. Shate's walking in, but he's looking the wrong way.
He's got it.
Unsure. He thinks that there's somebody's going to push him from the opposite end, though, or maybe pressure from Janitor. Shate walks on up behind, but it's the castle that wins it. Close to winning the second, but Red Groove is going to be the one to save the day, though. 3v1 with 25 seconds. This round has Chaos all over it. Jumps over, makes some noise, and Rask will make it known that he's in conference room. At least that's what you would expect. The plan to save behind the reinforced wall. Renules plays it smart. Singular peek. There's very few locations where his opponents could be coming from. And there was the round Chaos on a map and match point. That's pretty huge.
Yeah, this is the first 2-round lead we've seen this entire match. So that's pretty good for Chaos. They've guaranteed themselves the 1 point, and now forZe on the back foot. That was a big play for them that round was, first off, killing the Doc that took out the ACOG. The second ACOG of the Maestro and Pasha, taking him out second. They really eliminated a lot of their ability to fight at range. They were able to push in close, get a lot of fights. I mean, the IQ being able to walk around for so long in CEO, yes, he did lose his gunfight, but that opened up the opportunity for the Dokkaebi to get it from the window, although just barely as well. The castle was definitely on top of that, but overall, good round for Chaos. Those initial picks really paying off. Kama on that long roam, the Doc just really was not the play. We'll see the Warden get tried again here against probably the Ying. That should be interesting to see if it works a second time. Just because it was down to timing working last time, Rask might be a little wiser about that this time. He's going to help use his shotgun there to do some setup so that Smoke can be focusing on other things. This is always nice when you have multiple shotguns on defense to be able to do that. He's also got his deployable shield to be set up upstairs, up top of the stairs rather. Pasha was the one to try and come in to back him up last time a little bit late, didn't get the trade, but might consider backing him up a little earlier if he hears those Candelas go off to try and maybe save his life if possible. See how they approach this. You got Renewals trying to get those double digits along with Shate at 8 as well. The whole team really contributing though, and you can see that in the points for Chaos. Actually, in some ways less frags, but just more points at the end of the day. Able to get those plants down occasionally. I like this angle here. That really is a nice angle we rarely see used. Shate absolutely capitalizing it, catching Kama at the wrong time. Vito did take a bit of damage in that push, surprisingly, as he was in the way of distraction.
This is still worth it. Like, taking out the Maestro in that case is really huge. And this is the big change that Chaos perform, right? They try to come in from servers, didn't work out at all. They come in from this side, pretty much, from the garage. And, you know, before it worked out fine, right? Yeah, definitely a possibility. And, oh, I love this. This barricade is actually good. Double barricade. This is huge. This will really give you a lot of warning.
Which is ironic because they're not coming from that side this time. Oh, there we go.
There's the pressure. And he walks around. Oh, Renewals, you sly dog.
And they put that shield in there that's actually not going to benefit them now.
So wasted utility overall. Shate's going to walk on in with a drone and confirm 9 positions. He's going to see there's one. Oh, Renewals. Oh my, he can actually do a lot of work with this one. If he times this one correctly, there we go. He sees the tip of the head. He's walking very slowly, going for the fire, pre-firing it to the side, but no, Shockwave is still alive there. I'd assume that was the pulse, and Shockwave in the meantime will take down secretly. That's not good at all. Turns it into a 4 versus 4, trying to contest. Player in the back, there's the Gizmot. It will trigger, and there's the second one. Take down the shield. That might actually help out the defender trying to walk out. No, I was wrong. That was not Shockwave. I assume that was Rask then. One of the thick boys.
This is really slowed down, but at the same time, there's still plenty of time left for Chaos.
Look where Rask is now. He lies down on the floor with a shotgun as Warden.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good choice, especially knowing those Candelas are in play.
There we go. That's the opener. You should not be pushing in, though. The Zofia is just supposed to stay in position, but unfortunately, Rask still finds Renewals. Pasha onto Red Groove. Vito gets shot down so quickly. It does not work out at all here for Chaos. And forZe close to tying things up now.
Yeah, it's still possible for Chaos to use their 2-round lead to actually get the win. And we could just end up in the back and forth again. But at this point, if it continues back and forth, of course, then that means Chaos wins this next one, gets it 7-5. Open area defense for forZe. That is a risky move to make on what is your last round here to try and tie this up. That's, I don't know if that's the play. We'll see. I mean, to be fair, it worked for Chaos, but it's risky. You're better off on Tellers. I mean, or in some ways better off on CEO, but they've not been successful on CEO. They lost it both times. Vito really pushing this Ying thing. He's really trying to bring it back. And to be fair, it's not been working against them. It's actually been working out to their benefit somewhat. Just didn't really do as much for them last round, although he made for good bait to help Shate get the kill through that crack in the garage door.
Located by attackers.
See a somewhat common setup, but this is the odd thing to me. Open area, no castle. That seems like a curious choice, just because you really want to be able to control the flow here into this site. Otherwise, it just becomes open season. I mean, they might set up wooden barricades, maybe, but this is definitely going to come down to making sure you hold your angles tight and don't give up an inch of space.
10 seconds left.
But if you're able to pick off a few members of the defense first, and start to just have numbers advantage, it becomes very difficult to hold enough angles to control this site.
Attackers are heading out to defuse
We'll see if that works for him, but this is a very risky play overall. Pasha might even be on that roam with that Mozzie. I mean, he's been doing pretty well still there at 13. The rest of his team is literally at 8 or 7. Shate still sticking to this G8 IQ.
Yeah, it's a very valid strategy. I mean, every single time we see it, we're like, yeah, it's good. Really, like don't diss the G8, boys.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That was something else that Slash had kind of helped pioneer.
Yeah, I remember like playing Skyscraper with a G8. That's something I remember.
Yeah. I'm sure Slash has many fond memories of Skyscraper.
I don't think anybody has any fond memories of Skyscraper, but sure. Go ahead, buddy.
It was fun at the first Invitational.
I still always chuckle when I see the clip of King George saying that, you know, Favela is a great Pro League map.
It got played once.
Yeah. Oh, geez, remember.
Yeah.
Here we are, though. Shate looking to take this round for Chaos. Trying to push in, and this is a bit of a wider defense from forZe. You do need to put a lot of pressure on Teller's Archives in this case, right? And drones are going to be very important to give you that information, but opening up the hatches is so as well. There's only one hard breacher, which you can use one of the exothermic charges on a hatch and then the second one to open up the wall, but it's a lost drone. It gets shot down at least, but both charges of the thermite have been used on hatches, and Shockwave gets a kill on Shate. Your flank watch in the AQ is now dead.
Well, Renewal's definitely cautious that there could be some more roamers around because that Mozzie is still doing his thing. Rask as well holding a nice angle and tries to capitalize on it, just doesn't land enough of the bullets to get the kill.
Oh!
There we go, Renewals trades it.
Close to the second, and he gets it! Kama with the refrag on Renewals, but it only equalizes the numbers to make it a 3v3. I wonder where Pasha is. Is he still playing in blue right now? No, he's gone a bit down, and he's been found.
All the way down.
Vito, he's 6 feet under at this point here, and that's a great job by Vito. It makes it a big advantage for Chaos with 35 seconds left. Definitely a possibility, but do you know that there's a player behind you? Oh no, they're completely blind to it. And Shockwave, he's unsure. Does he peek? Yes, he does. He finds the kill, but secretly in the meantime has eliminated one player in the back. That's Kama down. Shockwave at 45 HP. You go for the plant, you're relatively safe there behind the bomb site. Do not push. It's the call now for Red Groove. He's going to try to spray in with the EBR. Shockwave is going to make his way and trigger the beepers. Now you know where your opponent is. forZe, oh, they lose it. Chaos take the W. A 7-5 win. They lost 7-5 in the very first playday against Rogue, a tough opponent. And here, they come back. Here they are as Chaos, your victors.
Well, once again, Community Vote didn't have this one in the bag.
Nope.
But still, that was a very good, very close match between what seemed like two evenly matched teams. Overall, we've seen Chaos have some real ups and downs in the past, but it seemed like a pretty good Chaos.
It was a pretty entertaining match as well.
Yeah. Pasha the first to leave, too, after such great play. He definitely put up a valiant effort. It just seems like everyone was able to counter each other back and forth. It was just trades after trades after trades. There was never really a dominant round for either team for the most part, other than, you know, maybe a round here or there where they got a lot of early picks. Yeah, the Garage, the 2 picks early there. But still, that was only 2 kills. It didn't turn into a super dominant steamroll. There wasn't flawless rounds really coming out. Maybe there was one I missed, but overall, it was very evenly matched. And I think that made for a great game. I mean, we'll see how these two teams go forward. Is obviously they've had roster changes as well as being a new team here into Pro League. So I think a lot of potential for both these teams this season, but we've also seen the other teams in this league are nuts as well.
Yeah. Overall, EU, North America, Latin America is still a bit more top-heavy than other regions, especially this season, I want to say. But even then, you see upsets. Liquid's loss was definitely an upset, to say the least.
I think right now the only clear leader for me is Empire.
Yeah. I think that really is the case. You've really seen them hammer things out.
Everyone else has kind of been a bit more back and forth, I think. But Empire is just straight ahead.
Straight to the point. And, well, who knows? Maybe in the next couple of weeks we'll figure out quite a bit about how the players really are adapting. And for me, by playday number 5, you should be able to now say, okay, this thing is definitely wrong. We should definitely change it. Maybe a role that a player is on.
Now they have a few more days break. I mean, doing 2 matches back-to-back in terms of like a small gap. Yeah. Obviously, you prep for both those matches if you can ahead of time. But it's still difficult to make up for a lot of mistakes that were made the previous time. Should be a little bit better next week, I think, for some of these teams.
All right, well, we have our interview ready. So let's have a quick chat with Secretly. Tjenare, secretly, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, Naritjana. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
That was a pretty close game, I have to say. It was definitely a super entertaining one for us to watch on Bank, and there's a lot of hype behind forZe, especially after their performance at the Raleigh Major and how they're able to fight against Empire in the Russian Major. For you, what's the difficulty of going up against a team that just now got into Pro League and they seem to be so strong and so hot off the start?
I think the difficult part is making them lose their confidence, right? Because you need to stop that machine they have going on. They might do the same thing over and over again, but they're so confident in everything they do. So we just had to mix it up with a little bit of playmaking to stop their momentum, to stop them from taking control of the game. And I think that was the key.
And dictating the pace, was that the reasoning behind bringing the Ying and being such a consistent pick for the team on the attacking side?
Yeah, for sure. And we just wanted to, throw something in that they're probably not that used to playing against. And it was the same with the garage push, just rushing garage. Not a lot of people do that anymore. So that would also, it would mess with how comfortable they were. It would force them to rotate, force them to make a lot of hectic decisions. So
on your side, on the defense, though, I have to say, in servers, seems like the reinforced hatch, the box skylight one, was a bit difficult for forZe to deal with. The Electro Claw was definitely shutting it down constantly. Did you expect it to be such a major stopgap, or basically just a major brick wall ahead of them? Yeah,
so our analyst Hyperino, he did a lot of good scouting, and since forZe doesn't change up that much, we knew that banning the Thatcher was going to be a major play here because of how slow they are at getting the hatch open. Even with the Maverick, because then they still have to pick. Do we open the A hatch or do we open the server hatch? What do we do here? Correct. So that was definitely pre-planned, and we put a lot of effort into making our server hold as good as possible.
And how's it now with Shate on the team? Do you all really feel comfortable in this lineup? Is this what you were looking for?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's a very funny guy. He's very easy to get along with. He's a great personality, and I couldn't be more happy to have him on the team.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your victory. Anything you'd like to say to all the Chaos fans out there?
Thank you so much, as always, for sticking with us, even though we're having our ups and downs all the freaking time. Hopefully, we're on our way up again. This is a big win for us, so let's keep the momentum going forward.
All right. Congratulations again, secretly, and we'll see you in our next Playday. That's only on Monday night. You guys have a tough game against Na'Vi, the reigning Pro League champions, so that'll be an entertaining one for sure. Good night.
Good night.